Okay, I think we are live. So hi everyone, welcome to today's live demo of the Ask Bosco platform. Thank you for joining. My name's Isabel. I'm going to be taking you through the demo today. So before we start, if you do have any questions, please do put them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end. So what we're going to walk through in the next 20 minutes or so is we'll talk through just a bit of background to Ask Bosco, why we built the platform. We'll have a look at some of the key elements of the platform itself, and then we'll go through any questions you've got. And what I hope to give you in the next 20 minutes is a bit of a glimpse into a world with some more seamless data flows where you can be reporting and forecasting and benchmarking much more accurately and efficiently than you may have been in the past, ultimately with conversations that lead to better return on investment for your marketing spend. So I'm hoping you can see my screen, and what we'll do is move through. It will be a bit remiss of me to talk about Ask Bosco without mentioning this gentleman. This is Bosco, who runs an orphanage in Uganda. He looks after 280 children, and we support that organisation, and we're very proud to do so. And what we thought about was who do the children go to ask for advice about their future? They go to Bosco. And who do marketeers go to ask for advice about the future of their brand and their company's marketing? And that's Ask Bosco. And so that's the link there. And we thought that would be quite nice for you to understand the background to that. But in terms of the platform itself, Ask Bosco was built to help marketeers understand where to invest their next pound or dollar. And we know that marketeers struggle with that, and marketing teams have data thrown at them. There is a lack of trust in the data because there are multiple spreadsheets all over the place maintained by different people. We've got increasing ad costs. And also, if you go to Meta, Meta will tell you to spend more with Meta. Google will tell you to spend more with Google. So there's no agnostic advice for marketing teams on how to best spend their marketing budget. And therefore, it's very difficult for marketing teams to plan and forecast. So we've created Ask Bosco, and these are the sort of 4 foundational pillars of the platform. So we've connected over 400 data connectors, and you can connect on a no-code basis. And then we have reporting with customizable AI reporting and live dashboards, which we'll go into and have a look at. And then we've got benchmarking, so you can compare where your brand sits within your industry, and forecasting and planning. So we'll look into all of those. So what I'll do is just go into the platform. So what you should be able to see here, we're sitting in the reporting section here in all reports. We have a set of over 70 live dashboards that we've created using best practice for you to use if you would like them. And the thing to point out about these is that the teams that have created these have been in-house experts, or they have been client side, agency side, sorry, servicing clients with the questions. So they know the questions that you get asked, they know the types of questions you're trying to answer. And we've created those reports with you in mind and with those questions in mind. What I'm going to show you is the website performance overview report. So we'll just go into that. So here you've got everything you would sort of expect from a very high functioning dashboard. You've got these filters along the top, which you can use to pick daily, weekly, or monthly. You can ingest from Google Analytics direct from the ad platform. We can ingest known custom attributions as well. So you can do lots of filtering along the top here. We have an AI highlights functionality. So this is where the AI piece comes in. If you needed to generate highlights for that report quickly and easily for a summary, for a meeting that you were just going into, you could very easily do that and have some detailed analysis already done for you. You can share these reports, you can make copies, you can download, and you can present them. So there's a lot of flexibility with the platform. I mentioned that we look to answer questions that we know marketing teams get bombarded with. So we've created within this particular set of live dashboards, you can see we've created something to help you track marketing spend. So you can see in detail and keep on top of that. We've also know that marketing teams get bombarded with details on and questions about why does my Google Ads look different to Google Analytics. So we've created a dashboard that allows you to look at that and answer questions on that really quickly. The live dashboard nature of this platform allows you to go, and if you just compare this to the static reports that you might be looking at currently, here you can go and drill down into the data. So you can do endless analysis of your data. So you might want to just look at organic type first, but then you can keep drilling down into channels, and then you can endlessly drill down, or you can show the underlying data there and manipulate data in that way. This means that anyone really from within the business can remove themselves from sort of tedious manual reporting tasks and can move into looking at more value add decisions and ideas for the business. As you can see, we've put in lots more detail that you would expect. So these tables go throughout the live dashboards. You can manipulate them to look and feel how you want. And we have visualizations further down in the report. So that's just one of the reports. And actually, it'd probably be worth saying at this point how we pull the data in. So as I mentioned, we've got over 400 connectors. You can see them here on the website and search for particular ones. If you have very bespoke ones, we can work with you on that. And we have a roadmap of connectors that we're rolling out all the time. So we have hundreds across ad platforms, marketing platforms, CRM databases and the like. So that's where we pull our data into. So I showed you the template of 70 odd dashboards that exist already, which you can have access to. But you might be quite technically minded and you actually might want to build a report from scratch and actually not be interested in the reports that we've created, which you can do here. So where you're looking here is in the report builder section of reporting. And this gives you the ability to build reports completely from scratch. So if you started typing, it will give you suggestions, but you can select particular data that you might want to use, and you can just build that report as you go through. So as you can see, that will come up with a report, and then very easily, what you can do is you can start to manipulate that. Your company might have a thing about seeing graphs as column bar graphs. You might want to go into the settings and add axes and labels to make the graph clearer. So you can see how you can really easily manipulate that data very quickly. And then you can pin that to a particular report that you might want to create. You can create a new dashboard. I've created one here for the actual webinar, and I can show you where that comes out later in the demo. So you can create these bespoke technical reports from scratch. However, you might also be someone who really doesn't care how and the nitty-gritty of the detail and the granular detail. You just want to know why something has happened, and you just want to know what the end result is. So here we're in the AI analyst piece. And this allows you to ask questions basically in your own language. So you might just not be interested in building the report with all the granular detail. You just want to know what were the top 5 best performing channels last month. And that will give you, and Ask Bosco will give you that answer. You can then go in and edit it in the same way that we showed you before in terms of overlaying certain pieces of data. You can show this data as a table if you preferred it. You can also manipulate it and pin it in the same ways I showed you to reports that you may have already created. So I hope I'm showing you the flexibility of the platform to cater for everybody, regardless of their technical ability, and the democratization across your teams so that your teams can think more about value add results for the business, and you can free them up to do that. So I mentioned that one of the things we're doing is always looking to improve the platform. And this is something we're rolling out, which is our next phase of AI analysis. So this is something that is really exciting, and the team have been working incredibly hard on. So this is for business users who are seeking more detailed explanations of their results and data trends. So it's agentic, it's autonomous. And if you compare this to your current static dashboards and reports as we go through it, I hope you'll see, I trust you'll see the difference. So what we have is the ability to ask more detailed questions at each stage. So you'll see here it's coming up with, I've just asked it, what was my revenue for last month? It will bring, I can have that in table form or graph form. What I can then pull it out and ask it further questions, and it will it will show the trail of questions. What you can also do is, as before, pin it to your particular dashboard. You can download this, you can save it. I can keep going with these questions and show you just how it shows you the train of thought across all of that. And then you can do things like manipulate the data to just make it look more sensible for you. So you could ask it to order this in descending order, and you can have a look at that. So I hope that shows you this was a natural step for us to provide more informed summaries for people who are asking those why questions. And again, anybody across the organization can do that. So that is the reporting side. I have to be honest, I've probably shown you about 1/10 of what can be done in the reporting, but if you'd like to get in touch for another more bespoke and in-depth demo, then we'd be delighted to show you all the other elements. But I'm going to move on to the budget planner piece now. And what you're looking at here is a library of budget plans that we've previously run. So this is for teams who just want agnostic advice at speed as to where they should best place their marketing spend. And you'll see as I go through how easy it is to run a budget plan. We suggest that you could pick your time period. You might want to be making the most of Black Friday for a week remaining. You might want to plan out for 12 months, but we would always recommend that you do budget plans iteratively and go back and look at a 3-month cycle and a monthly cycle as well. So as we work through, you can see you'll pick an optimization target. And in this example, you can see the channels that we would have connected here. You might want to run a budget plan that covers all your channels. And within here, you can add constraints. So for example, with Meta, you might want to say, I'll focus on impressions. And with Google Ads, you might want to focus on ROAS. You'll see that the number changed there. The platform recommends data and ranges for you within this budget plan based on the 2 years worth of data we've ingested. You can exclude campaigns, so you might want to exclude a sales campaign phrase, for example, and then you can run that platform with the suggested budget. So we will suggest a range as well. So if I go back, that will take a couple of minutes to do, but if I show you an example of one we've run, this is a result that you would get, and there would be a download of this. What this is showing you is what we asked ASK BOSCO to do. So we asked it to optimize this budget to this target across these channels. Here you can see what ASK BOSCO optimized and what it couldn't optimize. And it couldn't optimize either because you asked it to exclude particular phrases, so the sales campaign that I mentioned, or it didn't have enough data. So we can start forecasting from 2 weeks out, but what this platform doesn't do is if we have no data, it can't predict. It will always base it on the data that's available. And I think that's quite nice, especially when you've got account managers who have to walk into meetings and justify the foundations of their forecasting. They can say, well, this is based on 2 years worth of historical data, which takes into account everything. And and they can be reassured and have confidence in the forecasts that we have. I should mention that the forecasts we produce are to an average of 96% accuracy, and that's something that the team are incredibly proud of, and is a testament to how hard the team work on the platform constantly. What you can see here is across this range of, in this example, this range of channels, Ask Bosco is recommending in purple here that we increase budget for Meta to 20%, and is saying here this would be the proposed revenue change. Following all of those recommendations, Ask Bosco is saying that it would be able to squeeze £4,252 extra out of that budget that we asked it to work towards. And then we've got some fantastic pieces of information here. So you've got a visualization of what the budget plan will do based against last year's metric, and then the metric that you've picked, which is here in this example is revenue, would start tracking here. So you've got a clear visualization. And here you can see the budget plan results in comparison to the previous year. And you can look, for example, in here to show what Ask Bosco has optimized, how it is doing across cost, impressions, clicks, conversions, revenue. You can download elements of this data into Excel so that you can see all the data and apply any human context that you need to some of those forecasts. But the speed with which you can do this means that you can go in and run another scenario and start comparing budget plans. So you might want to change the budget, you might want to set different constraints, you might want to increase or decrease the number of channels you've got within the budget. And in terms of how many you can run, it's unlimited. So that is the budget planner. I'm going to move on to the third piece, which is competitor benchmarking. So we're not aware of anybody who does all these four elements of connecting, reporting, competitor benchmarking, and forecasting in the budget planner to the same level of granularity and accuracy that we do. So this third element of competitor benchmarking rounds off the platform as a whole. And what this page is about is directional trends. So you might want to, as a brand, just keep track of where you sit within your market category. And if you are an account manager working for an agency, you might want to be able to track how your client is doing, if there are any anomalies or dips or peaks across your paid search activity, SEO, other marketing and website health. And in your website health section, you can also track site speed across desktop and mobile. So you've got a lot of options here to look at different pieces of data. And I like to think of the whole piece as stacking the odds in an account manager's favor or in favor of somebody who has to go in and report on marketing activity to senior leaders, for example. That is all so that's the platform in a nutshell. So I hope now I've shown you an idea of what we believe our modern marketing planning should look like. And I hope you want to start interrogating your own data using Ask Bosco. So if you do have more questions, please do just get in touch for a more bespoke demo. And what I'll do is just make sure I'll go through any questions that we have. So is it possible to customize Ask Bosco's dashboards to match our specific business KPIs? Yes. So in the reports, we can, so in the budget planner, we can go back to, if I just go back in to one of the budget plans, we can set particular metrics here. And when, if you remember, as I was going through the questions, you can set particular constraints and targets for the business that you're working to as you're asking the questions of the budget planner. And in the reporting, you also get the option to do filters at the top, which will allow you to filter the report along those KPIs. And what kind of ongoing support or training does Ask Bosco offer? So we've got really comprehensive training. What happens when you onboard with us, you will get access to senior members of our ASK BOSCO team who will take you through bespoke training on reporting, bespoke training and separate training on budget planner. And then it doesn't stop there, and we don't try to keep you at arm's length. We are there for you if you've got any questions, if you need to have breakout bespoke sessions. We're also very happy to take sort of end of month feedback calls so that we make sure we're on track and making sure you get the most out of the platform. So if you do have any more questions, please feel free to email me. It's Isobel, which is Isobel @askbosco.com. And many thanks for joining.